but you can get him to kill. Can you speak in this microphone for them? Because we're trying to get the microphone. Yeah, you can take it off.
Good morning. Good morning. Test, test. Does that sound good? Good morning.
Have your son count to the 10.
Yeah, can we get Cash to count to 20?
Three, two, one.
What's this? 3, 2, 1. Start from 10 at least.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Hello.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rabbi, could you do it?
10, 9, 8. Let me take off the mask. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You might be picking up reverb from the microphones. Speakers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8. Karen, in a moment.
I just wanted to move these guys here.
Yep.
I guess I only needed to move this.
Kim,
Move that.
Kim, as the sun changes, everyone's going to be shifting their chairs.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot. Like this whole front area, they'll kind of keep backing up.
Okay.
So leave space behind them so they can back up.
Okay.
The sun just keeps cutting in over the course of the hour.
Oh, yeah, they took out a link to fix the flow. So,
Okay.
It's delayed here, and then it's delayed.
We're trying, the cantor actually wants it to be a completely safe area. So if you want it shifted, you ask the bar mitzvah boy, who's playing on the phone right now. He can't ask. Cash, put the phone away, come forward. I know, that's disappointing. Yeah, can you shift anything that's going on your body with all like third party stuff? Yeah. You're being the assistant photographer now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not my character to do with that. I just don't even know what I use.
it's there.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Because we have all this shade back there now. We're figuring it out. this
It's up to you. Okay. These chairs are great. Yeah. I realize, wait, those aren't ours.
Anybody else want to know?
I did have a yarmulke somewhere. Suit that I wore with Brielle.
Bailey, did you send it to me?
So the pockets are
The nice thing about doing a bar mitzvah during a pandemic outside with pre-assigned seats is I can look around and say every seat is filled, I guess we can start. It's not like a sanctuary where it's a third full. I'm not sure if everyone is there, if everyone is present. So I want to begin by first saying Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rabbi John Hanish. This is Cantor Noah Shashua. I think you all know Cash, who is already standing up because he already wants to start leading this service. But you can actually have a seat for another minute. I like the enthusiasm, though. This morning, we're going to be doing this service outdoors, obviously. And we're going to be having the family do a lot of the work that Cantor and I normally do because we are trying to keep social distancing. And we found over past B'nai Mitzvahs, this actually makes for a more intimate ceremony with family members taking on more responsibilities. So we are looking forward to this morning. We're looking forward to celebrating. We're looking forward to having the joy of this moment. We're looking forward to celebrating Cash, who I know is smiling under that mask, correct? And he's going to be taking it off anytime. You can take it off now. You're at your table. You're fine. You might take it off all the way. So I think your mom and your photographer would like that better. There we go. Put that on the table. So we're going to begin with a little bit of music. Cantor Noah is going to lead us in song, because song is the best way to create community. Here we go.
You're good.
And we're going to begin with a song once we figure out why there's no power to the piano. This is such a 21st century issue. There we go. Here we go.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Cash, I'd like you to stand. I'd like your parents, Chris and Kim, to come forward and stand on either side of you. You might think right now you're going to get your talis, but it's not happening yet. First, we need to give you a Hebrew name, something that didn't happen many years ago. And because you're going to be getting called to the Torah today, you need a Hebrew name. It's a name that you should use within the Jewish community, a name that you should hold on to proudly. And it should be really special to you because you helped pick it out. You picked out a name that is based on the idea of joy. And that's a really significant emotion, joy. Because it's something we always reach towards, but we don't always, find that destination. Joy. It's a journey towards a better place, a better today, a better tomorrow, a better moment. So now I'd like to offer you the naming blessing. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to actually hand this to Chris. I'd like Chris and Kim to read this blessing first. You can take those. Yep.
Help us raise a son whose heart will be clear, whose goals will be meaningful. One who will learn to laugh, yet never forget how to cry. One who will reach into the future, yet never lose touch with the past. Grant him the gifts of health, happiness, and wisdom. And then we, his parents, will be privileged to say, we have been truly blessed and enriched.
And now you can put that down on the table. If you could each put a hand on his shoulders as I read this blessing. Elohei v'Elohei avatai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avatenu v'imotenu, kayem et ha-yeled hazeh, v'aviha ulaima, v'yikra shma b'Yisrael, Yaron ben Alona Vikris. O God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child, this young man. Let him be known among the people of Israel as Yaron, son of Alona and Chris. May his parents find joy in raising him, as they already have. And may they continue to find joy in his upbringing and in his achievements. And may the joy he brings to them, may it be shared with so many others. And may your heart be open to Torah and its ways. May it be open to the idea of Maasim Tovim, good deeds, and Chuppah, the continuation of the Jewish people. May you always be blessed as you go forward with your new name, Yaron ben Alona Vikris. And together we say, Amen. You guys can give him a hug, but don't go away. Unless you haven't been sharing the same apartment or house, but I think you have. So now I'd like the two of you to take the tallis. And Cash, I want you to move your microphone a little bit closer to your podium, so that way you can actually speak into the microphone and read the words at the same time. Mom and Dad, if you could lay that sort of over his shoulders without putting it on yet. And I think you're upside down. You want to flip it.
Today my parents wrapped me in this talit. Today my parents wrapped me in this talit. Its fringes represent my responsibilities as an adult, member of the Jewish community. It is my goal to serve my community with a full heart, always remembering the traditions of my people. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'asitzim. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who holds us with mitzvah, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. We continue with the...
Now you're going to pause and let's put on the tallis. You guys can give him a kiss and return to your seats. Chris or Kim, they'll make sure it's even on both sides. And I do want to point out they ordered this tallis from Israel, I believe, correct? From Gabrielli, who's a great weaver. And they didn't know it, but they got surprised with a matching face mask. No one hold up the face mask? I'm so impressed as this came in. Cash was telling me, he just came with it, and it actually matches. So if he wants to go out into a crowd wearing his tallis, he can have a matching face mask. And now you can continue with the service, Cash.
We continue with the Matzah found on page 192. In English, it describes the beauty of the encampment of the Israelites while they traveled through the desert under Moses' leadership. The prayer is a metaphor for the beauty of our sanctuary, and all all places where people come together as a holy community. Please join us in song.
We continue with Psalm 150. Because the prayer book has been condensed, just keep flipping pages. The next page should be the right one. But if you're looking for a page number, it is 218, which is probably page 2 in the book, but 218 would be at the bottom of the page for Psalm 150. And Psalm 150 speaks about the instruments that were played during the time of King David. And these instruments would be played in front of the ark and in front of the broken and whole pieces of the Ten Commandments that were contained inside of the ark. And they are, well, pieces written about David in our Tanakh, where he is dancing and singing with joy, and he's accompanied with these instruments. The idea is that when we pray, we should let our hearts out, we should have full instrumentation. Psalm 150. During our sessions together, Cash and I talked about many topics. One of the topics we discussed was, what does Judaism mean to him? As an introduction to the Baruch, he is going to share his thoughts. Cash?
When Rabbi John asked me about what makes me Jewish, I thought about my relatives who came here from Russia. They took a difficult journey so that everyone who came after them would have a better life. Like my mom taught me, being Jewish reminds me that Jews before me made many sacrifices. That's what families do for one another. Then I thought about my experience in Israel. 3 years ago, my family and I traveled to Israel with other Tikvah members. There, I got a chance to pray next to the Western Wall, see my sister have her first bar mitzvah, float at the Dead Sea, and visit all the places I heard about in religious school. There are times I feel my Judaism more deeply than others. For example, I feel connected to Judaism when I'm celebrating Shabbat with my family and friends. I feel this same feeling when I'm practicing for my bar mitzvah or when I'm at Temple Tikvah hanging out with all my Tikvah friends. There are also times when I feel Jewish because I feel connected to God. Like when I go to the temple, I feel a connection, and during my sister's bar mitzvah ceremony. Judaism is a part of my life and will continue to be as I grow older. We continue with the Baruch from page 226.
Please rise.
Yeah, the other side.
You may be seated. Please turn to page 228. The Yotzer speaks of God's creation of the world. It speaks of the light of creation and the light of goodness. Each one of us has a light inside of our soul.
Another topic we discussed during our sessions together was God. The God that is found in our Torah and the God, well, that Cash finds in his heart. And as an introduction to the Shema, he's going to share his thoughts on God and these two different ways to perceive God, if he can find his piece of paper. Here we go. Go for it, Cash.
In the Torah, God is described as an almighty figure, able to create, lead, command, and judge. In the beginning, God created everything in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. But God did not only create, God also destroyed. It was in the time of Noah when God flooded the earth, killing nearly everything and everyone. God had a special relationship with the Israelites. He loved and cared for them, treated them like a parent treats a child, rewarding and punishing them for their words and actions. God helped the early Hebrews through some hard times. In my opinion, God lives in all of our hearts. God's primary responsibility is to keep us safe. But God can't keep everyone safe at every moment of the day. Some things just happen. When Good things happen that God, or when bad things happen that God does not have time to stop, God is there to assist in a spiritual way, especially for good people. I also believe that if someone does something wrong, God will punish them. It might not happen immediately, but it will happen. If someone does a good deed, they will be rewarded by God. God supports and protects each of us to the best of God's ability. We continue with the Shema found on page 232.
Please rise.
Shema Israel, Adonai Elohim, You may be seated. Please join me in singing of the Be'ahafta found on page 234. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובפומך וקשרתם לאוב על ידך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וקשרתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We continue with the Micha Mocha that is found on page 240. The Micha Mocha is a song of joy, a song of happiness, a song that we sang after 400 plus years of slavery. We were finally free, and these are the words that came out of our mouths. The Micha Mocha.
Say
like everyone to rise for the Amidah. While we're rising, I'm going to have Cash put his binder on the music stand and take his microphone over. We'll begin with Sur Yisrael.
צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ובדך נאומך, יהודה וישראל. גואלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל
We are on page 242. We will begin with Adonai Sivatai Tiftach. Cash.
Adonai Sefer Tikvah Ufia Yitahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gidol ha'gibor ha'hara, El Elyon, Gomer Chassidim Tovim, V'chol Kenei HaKol, V'zoher Chassidei Vavavim Lahot, U'mevi Gula, Le'bnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'chava. Tagi bor le'olam Adonai, mechakeh ha'atag, Rav le'oshia, morid ha'atag. Mechakeh chayim behesed, mechayecha kol berachim rabim, somet noflim berofeh cholim. Umatir usarim, umekayem emunato, mishneh afrofa, michamocha ba'al gevuro, umidomelech lachach, memit umechayeh, umatzmiach l'shua. V'nei amanata l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechageh hakol.
We're in the middle of page 248, actually the bottom, for the door Vador. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
ולנצח נצחים ולנצח
We continue silently to page 260. When you're done with your silent prayer, you may be seated. In just a moment, we're going to begin our Torah service with the passing of the Torah from generation to generation. And the idea is that we're passing on what we know to the next generation. But then we always have to remember that as we pass knowledge forward, it changes. It becomes something different. Because, well, each one of us looks at the world in a different and a unique way. And each generation has its own ideas and its own thoughts. So what the Torah means to grandparents is different than what it means to parents, is different than what it means to Cash. But Torah has always stayed alive and vibrant because these ideas change. Torah isn't something that was true 2,500 years ago. It's something that is true today if we look at it through the lens of today. What can we learn? What can we learn from its words, its ideas, and even its symbolism? So as we pass this Torah forward, from generation to generation, we're passing on knowledge. We're also passing on responsibility. So Cash, I ask you, you ready for that responsibility? How about a big yes in the microphone?
Yes.
That's awesome. I know you are. You can have a seat for me. So in a moment, I'm going to ask the grandparents to line up right about here. And this is a little bit more difficult because usually we physically line people up and show them where to go. So we'd like grandparents, I'm going to move away from the mic. Grandparents about here. Mom and dad about here. B'nai Mitzvah boy over there. Okay, you got that, Cash? And Riel, you're going to come open our ark for us when I say go. And you're going to hand, well, the first grandparent the torah. If you have to hold it for them, you're going to walk it down the walkway. Okay? You've seen me do this before, haven't you? I'd like everyone to rise. Brielle's going to become the rabbi in a moment. I'd like to have the grandparents to start moving forward, the parents and the bar mitzvah boy all in front of the table, please. Brielle, I'd like you to come up to the ark. Grandparents, and you'll face the community once you're here. Straight line. This side. One step to the right. No, everybody. One step to the right. Now this is
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז למו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
I'd like everyone to turn and face the ark, please. We will repeat after the cantor.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. We're gonna bow. גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו.
Like I said, it's an educational experience for all involved. We have things that we would normally do as clergy, we have other people do, and I think it's actually a wonderful experience because of that. So in today's Torah portion, there's a phrase, Motzah sefatecha tishmor. Guard what comes out of your lips. I think I could just stop right there. Haven't we I think every one of us has made that mistake of not guarding what has come out of our lips, and we've said, uh-oh, I just made a mistake. It is very difficult to guard our words. And a number of years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago, I gave a sermon based on a reverend's book, Reverend Will Bowen. He wrote a book called A Complaint-Free World. And then I included the Jewish elements to make it come alive for our community. But the basic idea he had in this book, A Complaint-Free World, is that everyone complains. And that it takes 21 days to change a habit. And so we gave everyone a rubber band or a bracelet. I think it was a bracelet in those days, a little rubber bracelet. And every time anytime you said something negative, you would have to move that bracelet from hand to hand. Be it gossip, be it a lie, whatever it might have been, whenever you did it, move that rubber band, move that bracelet. The idea is if you can keep it from not moving for 21 days, you've taught yourself a new habit. I had many congregants who came to me after these sermons and said, Rabbi, guess what? I just made my 21 days. I have to admit, I personally never made it past 8 days. I'm the rabbi, and I couldn't keep my mouth shut enough for 8 days not to have to move that bracelet. It is very difficult not to gossip, not to lie, not to slander. It is very difficult only to speak positive words. I have to tell you, yes, some of those people came to me proudly and said, I made it through the 21 days, but there were just as many people who said to me, I can't stop gossiping, it's my hobby. And there were a lot of those people. But we have to realize that Judaism teaches us that evil gossip kills 3 people. The one who tells it, the one who hears it, and the one it's about. And the goal is to stop this killing through words. So I'm sure many of us believe that gossiping is just something that we can do. That we can gossip, we can complain, we can criticize, because everyone is doing it, especially today. And then if we begin to think about how many of our relationships are based on gossip. How many of us have that person we call and say, guess what I just heard? How do we change that? How do we change the gossip and the negativity to positive words and positive outcomes? How do we start to speak in ways that we can change the world, and anytime anything negative is being said, we have the strength and courage to stand up and walk out of the room? Because we want to watch what comes out of our lips, and if we don't, well, then we might join in if we're hearing too much of it. I go back to the first phrase uttered. The first phrase uttered in our Torah is, let there be light, Yehi Or. It's a beautiful thing. Something was created through the words of God. We have to realize that when words are positive, they can create positive things. They can create positive relationships, positive outcomes, a better world. But when they're negative, they can do just the opposite. So let's remember to always have our words contain a holy intent. And then maybe we should practice the idea of WAIT, W-A-I-T. It stands for, why am I talking? Why am I talking? Well, I'm the rabbi, that's why I'm talking right now. But we need to think about that. Often we end up in a problem because we talk too much. We let ourselves ramble on. We find ourselves in a corner. Let us guard what comes out of our mouths. Let us take a breath before we respond. Let us think about what our next continuing thought should be. So during this month of Elul, during this month prior to the High Holy Days, my blessing for each and every one of you, may we always guard what comes out of our lips, and let us practice sending holy words into this world. And together we say, Amen. So today I'm going to ask Kim and Chris to come forward to hold our Torah, because usually we have people on either side or we have a special table. I'm going to have the two of you come forward, though, for the entire Torah reading. our Torah reading, as we aren't giving out books right now, is actually the section of the Torah portion that's being read today is found in your books right after page 368. So if you want to see what he is chanting today, it's obviously not the entire Torah portion. Nobody chants the entire Torah portion. But it is a selection, and you can see the selection he is chanting. So I believe he is speaking about a different part afterwards. So I'm going to ask Chris and Kim to take off the cover. I'm going to ask them to unscroll and to find what I'm going to guess is a post-it. They know where it is? No post-its. Wow, amazing. And you can take the yod to your right. And we're going to call up our first Torah chanters. The first one's giving the blessings.
יעמדו קשת בת אלונה וקריס and all the grandparents, עלייה ראשונה. So the grandparents and Brielle can come up to where they stood over here and say the blessings for the Torah.
So if you can gather in front of the Torah reading table and leave a little hole for the camera to see Cash. I think you're on the same side. Stay right there as he reads a selection of Torah.
אין אנשים וניגשו אל המשפט כי תחפוץ זיתה לא תעלה אל הריך לגר לתום ולאלמנה יחיה כי תפסור כרמך לא תעלה אל הריך לגר לתום ולאלמנה יחיה וזרחת יבד היית ברת מצרים על כן אנוכי צוותך לעשות את הדבר הזה.
Now the blessing after the reading of the Torah. Amen. And you can all return to your seats. And now our second aliyah. They're not going to have to move far for this one, I don't think.
יעמדו אלונה וקריס עלייה שנייה.
Chris, you want to Baruch Adonai Hambarak Leolam Vaed.
כי יריב בין אנשים ויגשו אל המשפט ושפטו והסיתו את הצדיק והרשיעו את הרשע וקיפלו איבים הרשע והפילו השופט וקראו לפניו כדי רשעתו במשפט. 40 יכנו לו יוסיף לחכותו על 1000 לקרא רבה ולקרוא אחיך לעיניך לא תחסום שור בשור.
And now the blessing after the Torah. I'm going to, Cash, take a seat for a moment. You can take a break. It's your last break for a while. Mom and Dad, you're going to stay there. We take a moment for the Misha Berak prayer. We say the Misha Berak for those who are ill of mind, body, spirit. If someone in your life needs a healing prayer, needs to be thought about, please share their names as my hand crosses this community. Misha Baruch Avatinu V'imatinu. May the God of our ancestors grant a refuah shlema, a complete and full healing to all those named this morning and to all those we hold in our hearts. And together we say, Amen. The singing of Misha Baruch. Cash has done a great job this morning, a really great job. And he's brought so much enthusiasm, he has brought so much joy into his, leadership this morning. But he hasn't yet become a bar mitzvah. That occurs when you say the blessing before and after the reading of the Torah. When we think about what a blessing is a way to make promises. It's a way to elevate. It's a way to make holy. So this is a right left to adults. Adults who can find themselves in a moment of holiness. To bless the Torah. To bless the Torah is the responsibility of an adult. And so now we are going to call Cash forward to say this blessing and to take on this responsibility. Perfect. We'll stay right there, Cash. We're going to sing to you for a minute or two before we call you forward. Cantor?
You're going to help me invite him up to the Torah, and you're going to say, Ale. Say, Ale. And we're going to invite him to receive the light of the Torah. Ready? Ale, 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 lekabel Torah, Torah. You can clap. Ale, 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 lekabel Torah, Torah. Ale, 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 lekabel Torah, Torah. Ale, 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 lekabel Torah, Torah. יעמוד ירון בן אלונה וקריס עלייה שלישית.
Take that blessing card. You're going to do the blessing before. Make sure you're doing it into the microphone.
Baruch Adonai Hambaror Baruch Adonai Hambara Leolam Baruch Adonai Hambara Leolam. Wait, you're right. Oh, leave this out. Baruch and Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambara Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Ki yeriv ben anashim v'nigshu el ha'mishpat u'shpatu v'histiku et ha'tzadik v'hirshiu et ha'rasha v'haya imbim ha'kov ha'rasha v'hipilo ha'shafet v'kahu lefanav כדי רשעתיו במספר 40 יכנו לו יוסיף פן יוסיף לחכותו על 1000 מכה רבה ונקרא אחיך לעיניך לא תחסום שור פרישו.
And now the blessing after.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach. And now a big mazel tov.
Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'simen tov, simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'simen tov, simen tov u'mazel tov, mazel tov v'simen tov. Yeheilonu, yeheilanu, yeheilanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Yeheilanu, yeheilanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'simen
pop the Torah open, I'd like both parents to place their hands on their son. The cantor is going to chant the priestly benediction. I'm going to give an English version. But this blessing is truly from the two of you to him. Hence the reason why you place your hands upon him. So even as we sing and say these words, they are being passed from you to him. The priestly benediction.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God keep you and bless you all the days of your life.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May the light of God always shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום, שלום שלום שלום.
May the light that exists inside of you, may it shine so bright that it gives peace and love and hope and courage and fortitude to your family, to your friends, and to your community. And together we all say, Amen. Now, Brielle, come join your parents and your brother. We're going to take a moment, and as a community, we're going to offer them all a blessing. We're going to offer them the Shechianu. Shechianu is a prayer we say that blesses this moment. And this moment is special. Even if chaos is surrounding this world, right now, at this moment, where we are is special. And the Shechianu says, we want to come back to this special time, to this special place, to this special moment, and relive it. That should always be our goal. So if you know the Shechianu, please say it with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Thank you, God, for bringing us to this time, to this place, to this season. May we come back to it again and again and again so that we can celebrate with this family all their joys, all their simchas. And together we say, Amen. I'm now going to have the family dress the Torah. So they're going to scroll it tight and put on the belt. Oh, sorry, my fault. Do not dress it yet, I'm lying. Cantor caught me in a mistake. Keep it open, please. I'd like everyone to rise as Kim lifts the Torah. I'm going to ask family members to take a step away from her because you've got to watch the roof, Kim. And you can just hold like this and turn all the way up your head.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
You may all be seated. The family's going to return to their seats now. If they want to give their son and brother one more hug before they go back, they can. We've kept them so busy with the Torah. Too many things to do. All right. And now Cash is going to share some words, some of his thoughts on today's Torah portion. And afterwards, he's got some people he wants to thank. So Cash, I know I don't need to remind you to speak. What does it say at the top of your page? Loudly, loudly, slowly, clearly? Loudly, slowly, clearly. I don't need to remind you, right? No, okay, go for it.
My Torah portion is called Kisei Tzeh. It takes place when Moses is about to die, so he reviews the commandments and the journeys of the last 40 years. This Torah portion focuses on 72 commandments that include topics like women's rights, hurt animals, loans, divorces, children, and religion. It speaks a lot about punishment, with a lot of the punishment including a death penalty. Pretty harsh stuff. A section of my Parsha that I really like reads, if along the road you chance upon a bird's nest, in a tree or on the ground, with chicks or eggs and the mother sitting over the eggs or on the chicks, do not take the mother together with her young. Let the mother go, and take only the young, in order that you may fare well and have a long life. This teaches us that if you are hungry and come upon a mother bird in her nest, only take her baby chicks. You can only take the eggs or the chicks, not the mother. If you take the eggs, let the mother go. If you take the chicks, you also need to let the mother go. In other words, you always need to let the mom get away. This makes a lot of sense because without a mom, the eggs or the chicks wouldn't survive. But the mother bird can always build a new nest and lay more eggs. Obviously, you're taking these eggs for food, and your family needs to survive, and you need eggs in the future. If you kill the mother bird, you wouldn't get any more eggs. I chose this section because it tells us to take care of living things, to let nature do its thing even when we are looking for food to feed ourselves and others. If you take the mother, there will be no more to eat in the future. By respecting nature, you are getting food for today while still allowing for more baby birds and eggs in the future. So what did I learn from these verses? I think there are two lessons. The first lesson is to be grateful. The second lesson is to respect nature since it gives us so much. We need to always remember not just take from Earth, but also to make it will make sure that it will be here tomorrow. Now I'd like to thank some special people in my life. Mom, you do so much for me, Brielle and Dad. Every day you take care of us, and you are always there for me through thick and thin. You are a great listener and a great advice giver. I don't know what I would do without you. I have so much to thank you for, including driving me places, cooking great stuff, helping me with my homework, assisting me with feeding the animals, and well, just everything you do as a mom. And the desserts you make, they're the best ever. I love you so much. Dad, you're the best dad I could have ever asked for. You are always there for me whenever I need you. You have been there to help me with math and other homework, and you help me build things like ramps and stuff. You are really good at explaining things to me, and I really appreciate that. All of your food is so good. Just a reminder, my favorite things you make is fried chicken and steak. I love you so much, Dad. Brielle, you're not just my sister, you're my friend. I really like it when we do stuff together, like surf, and when you give me advice. Thank you for helping me with my homework all through the years. You've always been there when I've had trouble with Hebrew. You support me through everything. I love you. Cantor, thank you for helping me with my prayers and Aliyot. I don't know what I would do without you helping me. You showed me how to pronounce a lot of words. Even though it was harder because you had to help me over Zoom, you still did a wonderful job teaching me. Thank you. Rabbi, thank you for guiding me to be a bar mitzvah. You have helped me through so much. I don't know what I would do if you weren't there to guide me. I appreciate all you have done for me. If you weren't there to help me, it would be so much harder. It would also a lot of fun traveling to Israel with you. Thank you. I want to thank all my grandparents for supporting me through the years. You have given me infinite love and wisdom. You all have the best stories. I cherish the time we spent together. I love you all so much. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so lucky to have you all in my life. Thank you. To everyone who showed up today, thank you.
Yashiko. Don't go anywhere. I believe your parents. Was Brielle speaking? Brielle's coming up first then. We always give the sibling the first right to talk. So come join us, Brielle. You can speak out of your brother's mic, into your brother's mic.
Mazel tov, Cash. I'm so proud of you. Over the years, you have been through ups and downs, but you always managed to keep a smile on your face. Even when your butt flipped going down Slide Rapid, which was a class 5 at the time. When we pulled up to you on the side of the river to pick you up, you weren't scared at all. Instead, you had a big smile on your face because you had stopped your hat from floating down the river. I love you so much, and I'm so lucky to have you in my life and to call you my brother. Mazel tov again. Never stop chasing adventure and happiness.
Chris and Kim, come on forward.
So, I wrote about 6 pages for this speech, but don't worry, I'm not going to talk about 6 pages worth of speech. There are so many things that I wanted to say. There's so much going on today in our lives, so much change, so much adversity, so much I don't know. Just it's been interesting. So I will say a few words to you, Cash. Cash, ever since you were born, I always looked forward to teaching you everything you needed to know. But when I sat down to write this, I realized how much you've taught me. When you were faced with adversity, you showed me how to put a difficult experience behind me and mentally and emotionally move on. You taught me that during a COVID world, making do with what we have is okay, and embracing the intimacy of our family group would be special and meaningful. Cash, you are many things: kind, considerate, funny, confident, witty, patient, and a great athlete. I'm especially proud of your sportsmanship. One of the favorite things I do is watch you play soccer. During this one game in particular, your opponent's goalkeeper was knocked down by one of your teammates. You immediately ran up to the keeper and reached your hand out to help him up. And soon, the rest of your teammates followed suit, giving him a pat on the back as they walked by. I was so proud and inspired by you then, and to this day, you are always making me proud. You have shown us how to be a team player and a leader. Two very important qualities in life. It's difficult as an adult to know when to go with the flow or when to stand up for something that's in your heart and important to you. You seem to be able to choose between the two flawlessly. Cash, I know we ask and expect a lot from you. I know it's been challenging managing your schoolwork, keeping up with your Hebrew studies, playing on your sports teams, while keeping up with the demands of family life. We know how difficult this all can be. We are in awe of you and how you've taken these challenges head on with such grace, hard work, dedication, and confidence. Your strength is inspiring. Standing up here today in front of your family is scary and nerve-wracking. I know it is for me. I didn't have to be a Hebrew like you did. I know at times you had your doubts and questioned yourself, could you actually do this? Yet here you are doing it. Done it. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you for embracing this chapter in your life. Thank you for being you. Again, I am so proud of you and all your accomplishments. I can't wait to see what you do next. I love you so much. Rabbi John, thank you for your patience and your flexibility during this current climate. Thank you for your positive encouragement, for keeping cash, for us, to keep going with Cash's bar mitzvah, and thank you for keeping Cash on track for this day. Cantor, thank you for helping Cash succeed. You were able to joyfully teach and encourage Cash each time you met with him, and I thank you for believing him and keeping him going forward. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. Wow, we put you guys through the ringer, didn't we? You had to go testing, and you have to wear your mask, and you have to get your temperature taken. You all are here for a reason. You're very special to all of us, and thank you so much for making the effort and being here with us today.
Cash. Wow, what can I say? I am so proud of you in every day, but especially on this day. Your religious journey started here, up in the preschool classroom 11 years ago, and today is a culmination of those 11 years. Thank you, Rabbi John, Rabbi Becky, Cantor Noah, and all the teachers and instructors you've had over this time. They have all instilled in you a general knowledge, understanding, and appreciation for what it means to be a good Jewish man. Although you might have wanted to skip a few more classes than you did by some sort of negotiating tactics, thank you, Kim, for standing your ground. The fact that you showed up and you took these steps one day, week, and year at a time requires discipline, which is an important life lesson that you will carry into your future. The way that you have been able to speak and sing as beautifully as you have today is a result of this hard work. As most people here know, we planted a tree for Brielle when she was born. And that tree has grown into something we never expected. Well, we also planted one for you. And since you were the second child, we have been able to manage the tree with a little bit more experience. And yours is still the same tree as it was when we planted. Your tree is an orange tree, but not just any orange tree. It's a Cara Cara orange. A Cara Cara orange is a special orange. It may look from the outside like a normal, albeit perfect orange with fragrant and bright orange flesh, but what makes this orange so special is that when you cut into it, it is not like any other orange. It has a dark pink reddish color with a complex sweet and tart flavor. Almost what we would all want an orange to look and taste like. Very special. This turns out is a really great metaphor for you and the man and human being you are and are becoming. You are beautiful on the outside, yet even more beautiful and interesting on the inside. You are a very special person. Everyone here can attest to this. Your qualities are endless, but to name a few, you are honest, sincere, funny, serious, talented, jovial, lighthearted, dedicated, inspiring, and curious. You have an old soul and are very comfortable and confident with yourself and others. Everyone loves to be with you, whether it was just taking a ride in the car, or fishing your computer, playing soccer, video games, or late night conversations on the phone. We and everyone can't get enough. You have an amazing future ahead of you. With the help of all these friends and family gathered here today, you are bound to succeed and conquer any obstacle that is put in your way. I want you to remember this day, this feeling you have now, and hold it in your heart, for it is truly a joyous day for you and everyone you have touched. As your dad, I will always be here to assist in anything you do, and I am so looking forward to what your future brings. I love you, Cash.
You guys can each give him a hug and go back to your seats. Cash, I'm going to have you stand at your podium. You know, there are a lot of parents I don't mind speaking after, but the kidders, I never like to speak after them. They're always so emotional and heartfelt, and the words are always so beautiful. So thank you. And as we're outdoors, I do want to say, I keep thinking about Brielle's bat mitzvah and that tree, which I know, did it have damage in the fires? How beautiful it was, and what I love is that we're outdoors again, though, that we're saying this is what we can do today, and we're going to make it special. And your words, all three of you, were truly special. I've got some gifts. I'm going to throw them to you. Ready? Don't drop it. This could be glass. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready? That's the Kiddush cup the board member gave you last night, okay? You don't put it down. No, it's good. Now, here's the most special gift of the day. It's from the Jewish Federation. It's a pair of socks. Enjoy. I have no idea why the Federation gives you a pair of socks. Another department of the Federation, because they have no idea what the different departments do, they don't realize they're giving out multiple gifts, it gives you a book called Israel Matters. And as you know, Israel truly does matter. And we traveled there together, and we had amazing experiences together while we were there. And I hope you get back there soon. And if you want to go back during high school, I already gave your sister one of these a few years ago. We have a gift certificate from Nifty that's worth $250. And they do work. I've used it for one of my own children. So Mom and Dad, you might want to pull that later and stick it in a drawer, because if he wants to do a Nifty youth trip, this is a great savings. We also have this book for you from the Federation about Israel. So I'm just going to put this on the table. I won't put a book in. And finally, we have 2 certificates. One certificate is for your baby naming, your naming today. And the other one is for your bar mitzvah. And you truly did a great job. But I think you did a great job primarily because you were such, as your father said, such an old soul. You were so relaxed. You were so joyful. You were just presence. Your presence alone creates a spirituality. And yes, you did great today. But you should keep that heart and that soul as you enter your teen years. Don't let that slip away for a couple of years. Remember who you are. Remember how good you were today and the goodness that flows from you. I'm going to put these on the corner. And finally, I have a blessing for you. May your presence bless everything and everyone with whom you come into contact. May you be greeted every day with smiles, with love from family and friends. May you be blessed with happiness and joy throughout your life. As it states in Deuteronomy, may you be blessed as you come and as you go. May you make blessings over those you love, and may they make blessings over you, so that you have a life filled with all that is good. And together we say, Amen. Mazel tov. You were great today.
My turn. It was such a pleasure teaching you, guiding you, and you taught yourself. I mean, yes, we met on Zoom, and I gave you all the knowledge that I had, but it was your journey also to navigate through the challenging Hebrew and all of the prayers, and you were fabulous. And not only fabulous, you were pleasant, so pleasant in everything you do. So I want to give you a blessing in a song. Shema b'ni, take these wings to fly with. Shema b'ni, with these roots you will grow. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, and you are the blessing. Shema b'ni, listen, son. Shema b'ni, and spread over us a shelter of peace. Ufos aleinu, ufos aleinu, ufos aleinu, sukat shelomecha. Shema b'ni, listen, son. Shema b'ni, Mazal Tov. I am so proud of you. Giving you a hug from afar.
We're now going to turn to the Mourner's Kaddish. It's found on page 598. I'm going to ask the family to join with their son. The three of you can come forward. We say the Kaddish to remember. We say the Kaddish to remember those who have touched our lives. And the family has asked me to mention the following people in specific, people who have really made them who they are today. Ann and Kenneth Hall, Ruth Sklar, Erwin Sklar, Pat and Jack Whalen, Helen Seifert, Louise and Nate Gillen, Molly and Abe Zucker, and Chris Schaefer. Did I mispronounce any of those names? If you have an additional name for our Kaddish list, or if you're in a state of mourning, please share the names of those you love. We turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. I'd like everyone to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach yirateh v'yamlech malchuteh. V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, v'galav v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mebarak le'olam olamei amayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'rechu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'rama Oseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace on high grant peace to all who mourn, to all Israel, to all humankind. And together we say, Amen. If you're standing next to someone who you've been potting with, please put your arm around them. Someone that you haven't been hanging out with, that's your choice. We're going to do our closing song, and then we're going to do a little Kiddush and Hamotzi afterwards.
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Cash, can you grab that Kiddush cup and hold it up high?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
It's grape juice, so you can take a sip. And now you can put it down and uncover that challah, and maybe you and your family can all hold on to it. Pick up the whole tray. I want to have you and your whole family hold on to it. There we go. And now our hamotzi.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתאוות.
Amen. And now you can take a little bite of challah, and we should all yell out a final mazel tov. Mazel tov. And so concludes this morning's service.
Congratulations, Cash.
Maybe an olive tree or something as well.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay.
You tell me.
Okay. Huh? You think we could all fit there?
Yeah, try. You guys want to do a group picture, but that means you. Or we could.
Everybody hold your breath.
We can all hold our breath for 60 seconds.
I didn't get a, yeah. I didn't get a, like, thumbs up on that.
Make it work. If we just split them to stand, we could try.
Well, let's start with us four, and then, we'll go from there.
Look at what this kid wants to deal with. He gets his braces off on Tuesday.
Oh, you have to wear that?
Yeah. But he has to take it off to eat. And so he made him wear it this morning.
So that's the worst part.
He's gonna cut them all now and then wait till we get home. But like, isn't that crazy? But it's I've never seen it before.
Super complicated.
Left, you want to get in here? Sure. Corey?
All my makeup is off. I forgot about it. I can't be on top. It's here.
You know,
Okay, ready? Let's see. We'll slide over just a little bit so I can see who's behind you. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Ready? Look this way. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Thank you. Anybody else want to join? Should we grab anyone else?
Maddie, you want to come take a picture with us? Okay. Where's Hunter and where's Hunter and or we'll do here. Amber and Aaron, you want to come in? Yeah. And where's Ryan?
He's
Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Who else wants to join? Oh, you have your mask. I want you to take your mask off.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Yes. I didn't realize I could keep masking.
Much better. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Where's Janet? Where's Harvey? Is he coming? Okay, we'll do. Here's Haley.
Let's get you guys right now. Haley, where's Hunter?
Haley, where are you? Come on in. Okay. Where's Hunter? Honey, come back.
Hunter, come here.
Okay. Do you want to take your mask off?
You want Harvey here now? Yeah.
No.
Kim, Ryan's back, so can we take a picture after this? Yeah.
Hunter, come here.
That's okay.
Are they going to leave? Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, here we go.
They're taking it off?
if you want. If you feel comfortable.
Let's see, have Cash go just a teeny bit over. Just that. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you. Got it.
Okay. Let's do one with Harvey. Wait, Dad.
He's putting his hearing aid back in. It fell out.
Just yeah, but let's do a few more pictures.
The E has turned itself around.
Okay.